Yo. Alright. I'm going over the match that you guys played last night. This time I'm going to be watching your perspective, Yoko. So we'll see how you did. I'm just going to try and give you any tips I can and maybe some ways to practice it if I know of some. Okay. Here, right? What is you hitting this going to do? Just like think about it, right? This shot, I'm going to be honest, you're not hitting that, right? No, nobody's hitting that shot. Nobody's expecting you to hit that shot. So your best bet is you hit this to mid, right? But Jester's not in a spot to shoot, right? So there's just no point in jumping for this. You might as well just wait for Jester to take. It's not really gonna help you if you go for this shot, even if you do hit it. Like even if you do hit the ball, like you're not gonna hit that shot. So okay, good rotation back. Okay, make sure you're not rotating ball side here, right? Would have been scary if Jester accidentally touched this into you while you're rotating back or something. Or like Jester might take this corner boost and then you're just left with no boost, right? Or you take that corner boost from Jester and then Jester has no boost to control this, right? You don't want to be rotating back. If you rotate this way, you're more likely to just be able to grab some free pads and continue up with Jester up the field. Or I'll go back to third man and let Vodka continue up the field with them. Okay. Fortunate. Nice. A good play from you. I liked you controlling it to the wall. Okay, look. Both your teammates are in this corner, right? So you don't really want to be like turning up here. You kind of have to play passive. I know you want to turn up, right? But both your teammates are right here. This is really scary because if they bang this now, you're the only one who can save it. So you just want to be making sure you're playing a little bit passive here because you can see both of them on your screen. Luckily, they get actually a dog shit touch, so it doesn't matter. But nice demo. Okay. Do not go all the way back to this corner boost. Look, you have 32 boost right here. Okay, now you're at 44. What I would do, grab this pad, and then go to here, right? You take this little turn, you use no boost during it, you go from 44 boost, and now you're at 56, 70, 80 boost, right? You're at 80 boost here if you take this turn. So I don't know. There's no point in you going all the way back here, right? Using 40 boost to get back here, and then using 50 boost to get back upfield, right? Just grab these three pads, and you're all set to continue your pressure, right? Because now you're gonna come all the way back out here, and now look at how far back you are, right? You kind of just have to sit and wait. You can't do anything. And if they did get a pass to you, you wouldn't have been able to challenge off of it. This is really bad positioning by you, though. Look at how... So you come up for this. That 50 comes, right? You have two options. You either jump for this and after, like, on the bounce and hope you read it, or you turn back, go to your far post, and let your teammate take it, or, like, turn in for it or something. Like here, you kind of just drove right under the ball. So... Look at this. I'm gonna Gotta work on your pathing a little bit. You didn't grab a single pad. Look, skip that one. There's one right to your, there's one right off screen right here that you also skipped. Could have probably grabbed, you could have grabbed another pad again right off screen. There was 3 pads you could have gotten there, at least 2 that you could have easily gotten there to keep up some pressure. Okay, I don't like that touch. When you go for a touch here, right, my recommendation is try and send this, like, I guess this works to kind of stall time, but you're not really stopping them from doing anything. How the fuck? What happens in this? So he touches it. Yeah, I guess they just whiffed. Fortunate. Nice. Again, you're just using, you're using a decent amount of boost to rotate back when you don't really need to. But good pad grabs right there at least. Not much you can do there. Oh. Yeah. I don't like pushing up here. But you have 0 boost, right? And you just used all of it. If you're gonna push up, right? If you're gonna try and contest this, at least pick one of these paths, right? And you want to flip through that path to try and gain some boost while you're going to challenge. Don't use all 20 of your boost, right? You're gonna lower yourself straight down to 0, and now you can't even challenge the ball. Like, yeah. Here, you're like already too late to jump, so there's not even really a point. You can just kind of wait and net. You just kind of have to read them at that point. I mean, it is really unfortunate that you hit your fucking back of your car on right there. Otherwise, you maybe had a touch, but I would have just stayed back in net and waited for the double, honestly, is your best bet. Here, instead of just banging it straight, try and put a little bit try and put a little bit more pressure to the right side. Try and put it a little bit more to the right side so that Vodka has an advantage when shooting here. Okay. Here, right, you have 0 boost. Vodka turns in for you. Nobody's able to challenge you. I would have just left the ball right here for Vodka. You have 0, like, just calm, like, hey, I'm 0 or something, and you could have left it for Vodka. Or you go, like, I guess this flick sort of, I mean, like, the flick could have worked, but it's really hard to get that possession with 0 boost, where you can just let Vodka take a free shot, pretty much. think you're right. Vodka's in corner. Jester's on mid boost, right? You want to make sure you're staying behind both of them. And look at how far you and Jester are both on the same plane right here, right? Look at how far all three of you are. You need, as third man, to be staying a little bit farther back, right? I don't really want you passing like this boost line. Um, like right about here. I don't want you going any further than this. This is where you should be staying as third man until something happens with the ball. You should be here until Jester gets this 50. Like you're trying to force a goal with a minute left. You have plenty of time here. A minute for one goal is plenty of time. You don't need to be forcing an aggressive play. Like, wow. You're just staying up. Like, look, you go for this, you don't get it right. You notice that your teammate's there. Back up a little bit. Don't just like look at how close you are. If this gets like a bounce out or they clear it, this is just a straight goal. You guys are trying so hard to like force a goal in. You're not even trying to play defense. If that guy touches that, that's probably a goal for them. The only time I play that aggressive is maybe if you're down like 40 seconds. Like if you have 40 seconds and you just score 2 goals, then you can start getting aggressive like that. I don't know why you're feathering your boost here. Like, if you don't feather your boost here and you actually just boost towards this ball, then you get such a better touch. Instead, you do nothing with it because you feathered. No speed. Feathering is for keeping height, not like gaining it towards the ball, really. Right. Okay. You want to be grabbing some pads here. After you don't get this big boost, right? After it's not here, grab a couple pads. Like slow down a little bit, grab this pad and this pad, right? That's 24 boost for you. Now you're at 36 and you can save any shot that comes on net pretty much. Instead, you drove past both of them. Now you have no boost to challenge that. And you're still just like forcing upfield with 0 boosts. You really need to grab some pads more often right here. You had a bunch of time and space during that to grab some pads, and you just didn't grab any, so you couldn't keep your pressure. Okay. Your main issues, one of them being the same as Jester's, your boost pathing is just not good. You guys, like, you need to be grabbing these paths. They're not very difficult to grab, right? Easy to remember. Football in the center of the field. When you're rotating back, grab those. On your net, there's this nice half circle, right? Very easy to grab some pads when you're playing defense, right? Like, say you challenge in this corner, gotta rotate back, you might flip out, and then you can grab these 2 boosts on your way back. 24 boost is enough to save most shots that are on target. You've got this little diamond in center where you're trying to stay when you're waiting for passes to mid. The other thing I noticed for you, that was a big thing, was you kept going way too aggressive as second man, right? You're like waiting for passes, trying to force a play. You're in like this area. You're way too close, right? This is way too close. You want to be at most like here, right? You don't really want to cross this line. This is like, past this is no. Like, unless you're going for the shot actively right then you're not passing this line. That's my recommendation. Unless you're going for a shot or a 50, like currently, then you're not passing. You should not be passing that line. And as third man, again, unless you see that you need to move up as second man until you see that a 50 has happened, you're not passing this line. Very important that you play your positioning properly. They got like 2 free goals because it went over third man very easily, and they got a couple free goals because you were like you were very close. Yes, when you're this close, sometimes you can get a forced goal in, but you're giving up your defense for the chance at one shot. Um, for the boost, I recommend playing a ones match and you just don't grab any big pads the entire game. Just only grab small pads. Just practice your pathing like that. Practice using your flips and make sure you're not using boost when it's not necessary. You're pretty good about using flips and um, keeping boost usage mostly necessary. You just want to make sure you're grabbing pads and you're not trying not to rotate for these big and mid boosts all the time. It's okay to grab them sometimes, but you just gotta want to make sure you're keeping your position. Because it's a pretty hard issue to fix. It happens a lot. Um, overall, you played pretty decent. I'd say, um, sometimes when you're taking control of the ball, you just have to remember this is threes, not twos. So they will be pretty aggressive. You got to be really fast if you're taking possession of the ball, like instant flicking, and try to look for passes to your teammates more often. I feel like you were a lot of the times not looking for your teammates. You should just be looking for passes. All right, that's all.